The day was painfully hot, the kind of heat that makes the road breathe and shimmer. Thomas Weber, one of the most powerful businessmen in the country, stood helplessly beside his broken Maserati. Steam poured from the engine. Sweat soaked his expensive suit. He punched the steering wheel in frustration. He checked his watch. 11:43 a.m. He had a life-changing investor meeting in exactly 17 minutes. His assistant wasn't answering. His phone had no signal. And Thomas, who led a billion-dollar company, didn't even know how to fix a car. That's when he heard a loud engine approaching. A rusty pickup truck stopped nearby. A black woman stepped out. Grease-stained jeans, plaid shirt, sleeves rolled up, hair pulled into a messy bun. Confident, calm, focused. "Need help?" she asked. Thomas didn't hide his irritation. "I have a very important meeting. There's no signal. And my assistant..." She walked straight to the Maserati without waiting for permission. She leaned over the engine, the sun shining on her dark skin. "It's your cooling system," she said. "I can fix it enough for you to reach the city. Won't last long, but you'll make it." Thomas stared at her, slightly offended by her confidence. "You're sure?" "I'm a mechanic," she answered, unfazed. "Shop's 10 miles from here." Her movements were fast and precise. She adjusted hoses and valves Thomas had never even heard of. "5 more minutes and your engine would be ruined," she murmured. "These luxury cars look strong, but they're actually very delicate." Thomas didn't argue. He just wanted to reach the city. "How do you know so much about luxury cars in..." He stopped, realizing the prejudice in his tone. She finished the sentence for him, giving him a sharp look. "In a small village? I study, I read, I work hard. Excellence isn't a city privilege." Thomas blinked in surprise. "How do you know my name? You're in the business section of the newspaper all the time." She closed the hood. "There, you're good to go." Thomas pulled cash from his wallet. "Please take this." She reached for the money, and that's when he saw it. A silver ring with a small blue sapphire, a ring he knew very well. His world stopped. "Where did you get that ring?" he asked, his voice shaking. She instantly closed her hand around it. "It was my mother's." "Why?" Thomas stared at her, memories slamming into him. A young girl with bright eyes, a promise made under a tree, a ring given before he left the orphanage. A promise he never kept. She didn't recognize him, but he recognized her. He hesitated, torn between the meeting and the shock, but she was already walking away. "If the car fails again," she said. "My shop is 10 miles ahead. First, right after the Aurora City sign." He wanted to say more, but she was gone. Back at her workshop, Maya worked angrily on a dismantled engine. "He didn't recognize me," she muttered to her Uncle Xavier. He remembered the ring. "Not me." Her uncle sighed. "That's Thomas Weber, Maya, the boy who promised to return." "The man who forgot," she corrected. Late that night, in her room, Maya opened a wooden box filled with newspaper clippings. Thomas's entire life story. His rise, his wealth, his engagement to a wealthy socialite named Elise. Maya whispered bitterly, "Tomorrow, he won't even remember the ring." She was wrong. The next morning, an ordinary sedan stopped at her workshop. Thomas stepped out. No fancy suit, no arrogance, just silent tension. "I came to return this," he said, holding out his palm. A small wooden bird, her first carving, a gift she had once given him. "You promised you'd come back," she whispered. "I tried," Thomas said softly, "but my father had other plans." Xavier joined them, watching Thomas with suspicion. Thomas took a deep breath. "I'm engaged to a woman I don't love, taking over a company I hate, living a life shaped by my father's demands. But when I saw you and that ring, I remembered everything." What he didn't say was this. He had found documents about Maya, her past, her family's stolen land, her mother's disappearance. What Maya didn't say. She had proof of Weber family fraud hidden in the back of her workshop. Their lives were tied together by far more than a childhood promise. A secret waited to explode, one that would destroy an empire built on lies, and the ring was only the beginning.